Hey, what's up guys, Plus2 Soul here. So in this video I'm going to be showing you guys my completely finished Nisekoi deck. I tested out this deck so many times. I like it. I really do like it. There are maybe some cards I kind of don't want in this deck, but at the same time I have no choice. But I still do like the deck. It runs perfectly fine for me. It runs smoothly, everything. It just does what I want it to do. And yeah, I just really like it. So let's go ahead and show off the deck. Now, before we show it off, I just wanted to tell you guys, you guys did see the first Nisekoi deck profile video. It's basically the same thing, but I did change some cards. Like for example, Time Machine Onodera. I took those out and I replaced it with the 1-0 Clock Encore Onodera, which I'll show you guys in a bit. I did increase some card count for some specific cards, like for example level 3 Onodera and stuff like that. So and I'll tell you guys why I did it and stuff. So let's go ahead and talk about the cards here. Now, starting at level 0, I run 17 level 0s. My first level 0 we're going to be showing is the Running Suicider. Now, this card is just too good not to run. It's just way too good. It's basically a runner and a Suicider at the same time. Now, the only time it could run is when it's on either the left or right center stage on the front row. So basically, you can use this effect at the beginning of your opponent's attack phase, and when they go into the attack phase, you can just move it into the center middle stage. Now, in order for your opponent to kill this card, I explained this in the last video too, your opponent has to have basically 2 cards on the field, and they have to be in front of this card and in the center middle stage, or middle center stage, and basically they either leave it there or they have to run to the middle to get killed basically. And of course you have to be 1500 or higher in order to kill this, unless you're gonna get killed. So like basically even if they run like an anti-suicider, they can still run over here and you know that middle thing is open, and they'll just like your opponent will attack you for more damage so you can get to level 1 faster. Now getting the level 1 is also very important with my deck because you need to start setting up for level 3 and so on. So we'll explain that in a bit too, but this helps you get to level 1 faster, and it's just a running suicide. It stays alive on the field like a really long time unless they're like, rushing you. So that's why this card is really good. I run 4 of them. It's just a card you cannot forget to run at all. Next we have these Marikas here, these blue ones. They are a 002k first effect. When this card is alone, it gets plus 2k, so it becomes a 4k beater. And then the second ability is pay 1, draw a card, and ditch a card from hand. Now, both effects are really good. With all honesty, I should be running 1 more, but I thought 2 would be fine because of, with all honesty, space. I couldn't find space to put it in. Put in a 3rd one, or even a 4th one. But definitely the first effect is really good because of getting plus 2k becomes a beater. Really hard for your opponent to kill unless they have like a suicider or something to go over 4k. But the reason why I only run 2 of these is because of this. I'm banking on getting this in my hand, and I usually do. You just want to start off with this card instead of this. This card comes in later by paying out Climaxes with the pay 1, draw 1 ability kind of thing. So you can like pay 1, get the Climax out of stock, and then you know draw a card and then ditch a card. And that ditch card could be also a Climax. You want to get those Climaxes back in the deck as soon as possible because you're gonna be refreshing with this deck a lot. But definitely this is a good card as well. It's something you should be running. Well, I think so, but I think this card is really good. I don't see a lot of players running this though, so you guys should be thinking of running this. Card is really good. Next we have the Brainstormer. I run 3 of them. One of them is foil, but this is definitely the better Brainstormer out of the 2. I personally don't like those Brainstorm effects that give power to other cards. I just don't think it's necessary. But I mean, it is spammable. That's what's good about it. But I think this card is better because when this card attacks, you can give it +1. You can give another key character card +1k for the turn. And then the second ability is pay 1, tap 2 cards, and for each Climax you hit, search out a key character from your deck. Now, a great way to thin out your deck, great way to get your Climaxes out of your deck into the waiting room, a great way to search for key characters that you need at level 1 or even at level 3, And basically the first effect, I mean, you can just put 2 cards in the back row, which are gonna be my support cards. And I can just put this in on the front row. I can just use the brainstorm effect, tap both of the characters in the back row, and start searching if I hit climaxes, and attack, pay 1, I'm not pay 1, I'm sorry, give 1 plus 1k to my other characters, and you know, just from there, just start attacking. So I think this Brainstormer is really, really good. That's why I'm running 3. I think 3 is a good count for Brainstormers, 2 at least, but definitely I think 3 is great, and this card is really, really good. Next we have PR Marika. Now, not a lot of people are actually running this. I'm not surprised at all, but the reason being is because I think they can try to get the the event card another way, which is probably the Raku, which I'll talk about in a bit. I showed this in the other video as well. I think this card is really, really good just because of the top check ability. You can just like top check if it's you can either leave it on top or put it on the, or send it to waiting room. And now, for example, like in times like you have like 2 cards, like 2 cards left in deck, and one of those are a climax, and if you want to get that climax back into the deck, you can just top check, and if that top card is the climax, send it to the waiting room, and then you have all 8 climaxes back in waiting room. Now you can just refresh with 8 climaxes. Now that's really, really good in my opinion. I've done this twice already. And the second ability is pay 1. When this card is played from hand to stage, you can salvage out a pendant card from your waiting room, which is really good because you can pay out climaxes with this. You can basically salvage out, like I said, salvage out the pendant card and use it, like, keep it in your hand, use it later kind of thing, or use it then. So this card is really good, helps you do that. And you can also miss, so if you can just pay 1 to get the climax out and there's no pendants in your waiting room, you can just miss just to get that climax out of the stock zone. That's why this card is really good. I think out of all the PR cards, this is the good one, in the box PR cards. Now this Raku here, same thing, basically salvages out the pendant card from the waiting room, but instead of paying 1, you actually ditch a card from your hand and send it to the waiting room. So basically it's a trade-off, but at the same time you can ditch any card in this for this effect, so you can just ditch out climaxes, get them back into the waiting room so you can refresh with it. And you like I said, you can always miss with this too, so you can just like ditch the climax and just be like, oh, there's no pendant, no problem kind of thing. The first ability is pay, not pay, I'm sorry. It's a plus 500 to all key characters in front, which is really, really good. I usually have this in the back row, usually 1 in the back row, just because that effect is really good. I don't have to move it around to give it to the plus 500 effect. So I think this card is really, really, really good. People are saying that running 3 is too much. I say no. I think 3 is a good number. I think 3 is the best number for this actually, because you really, really need that pendant. That pendant is important in your deck. It's basically your main engine of the deck. So that's why I run 3 of these and 2 of the Marikas. These are basically my salvagers for those pendants, because there's nothing really that can search it out of the deck. So I think these 2 cards are really great. That's why I run 5 of them, just in case if I can't get one of the other kind of thing. Next we have a really, really good searcher. This is an Onodera searcher. The first ability, when your opponent has 3 or less characters on the field, this gains plus 2k, so it becomes a 3/5 wall on your side. And of course, if you have some kind of support, for example the Raku, plus 500, so it becomes a 4k wall. So really, really good at level 0. At level 1, kind of iffy, but this is where you mainly use it though. Level 1, level 2, this is where you mainly use this card. Why? Because of the second ability is pay 1. When this card plays from hand to stage, you can search out a key character from your deck if you have 2 or more pendants in the memory. So basically the second effect is only used when you have 2 or more pendants in memory. It's really important when you do, because basically all your good cards that are like level 3 or higher, or level 2 or higher, are going to start using these pendants. And this basically searches out those level 3s to help you complete your level 3 game. So that's why this card is really good. I actually search out the level 3 Onodera with this all the time. Then from there I use the Onodera and I use her effect, and boom, 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 boom. So this is basically like the starting setup for your combo later on at late game. So this card is really, really good. Now I could be using that green searcher, the basically basic searcher, pay 1, ditch a card, and then search. That card's good too, but I think this card is a lot better. I don't really have to search for anything at level 0 because my hand is already set up with all these cards for level 1, for level 3, and stuff like that. I mean, level 3 I don't have to even worry about it because of my level 1 game, which I'll show you guys right now. Now, I run 4 of these level 1 Suiciders. Basically, if you have a Pendant card in your memory, you can use this card here. It becomes a level 1 Suicider, basically. The first effect you have, the second ability, you have to do it. It's automatic. When this card is played from hand to stage, you have to top check. You have to reveal it. If it's a key character, you put it into hand, then you ditch a card. If it's not, it just stays there. So you do have to reveal it. It's an auto, so you have to do it. Again, like I said, the first ability is a suicide effect. You have to have a Pendant in memory in order to gain that suicide effect, which is not that hard at all. I mean, you can just use your Pendant on your turn and be like, the blue one, buff this, and it becomes a Suicider. Or you can do like, use red Pendant and tap and whatever. Or you can use yellow or green Pendant, whatever. Now, this can also become a Suicider on your opponent's turns. For example, let's say your opponent is attacking and your opponent has a stronger card than this. Like basically, it's like a 117k card, and it's attacking this. Use your Pendant plus 3k, so it becomes a 6/5 thing, a 6/5 card, and you can't kill it, but it still becomes a Suicider, so you can just suicide your enemy while they're attacking. So that's what's cool. And then if you have support, you can just buff this up, and then you can be bigger than that 117k character. So that's why this card is really good. Becomes a Suicider during your turn or during your opponent's turn. So that's what's cool. That's why the Pendants are very important, guys. That's why I run 5 of those salvage Pendant guys. Next, we have a really good level 1. This is probably my second favorite card in Nisekoi. It's a 105k Climax combos with this comeback trigger here. Basically, if it reverses a character in front of it, it gains the effect of allowing you to salvage a card from your waiting room. This can salvage any card, any character card in your waiting room. It doesn't have to be key trait. It doesn't have to be weapon. It can be anything. So basically, this card is really good. This helps me set up my level 3 game, because if I kill stuff, I can just salvage out level 3 Marikas, level 3 Onoderas, or like Suiciders, whatever I need. Or I can just take out my salvage out my Rakus or Onodera PRs, and then use them to get back the the event cards when I need them. So that's why this card is really good. Helps me set up for level 3, level 2, whatever. This card is really good. This is the card you should be running in your deck. Now, we have a support. I think the support's really good. I see a lot of players not running this at all as well. Basically, it's a plus 500 to front to anywhere. I'm sorry, plus 500 anywhere to all your key characters. That's globally. And then the second ability is plus 500 in front as long as you have 2 or more if you have 2 or more Pendant cards in your memory. So basically, it becomes the 1k support. Really good. It reminds me of the 0/0 support in Melty Blood. If you have 3 or more experience, it gains another 500 in front, so it's become the 1k support. So this card is really good. It's plus 500 global. That's like really good. I mean, you can just have this and the Raku back row, which I usually have. This is basically how my back row looks like, and if I want to actually put this in, I just push up my Raku so I don't have to use hand, and then be like, there you go, plus 2k in the middle. Or, I'm sorry, yeah, plus 2k in the middle, and then like plus 1k on the sides kind of thing. So, or plus 15 on the sides kind of thing. So this card is really good. I think it's a really good support. I actually do think it's better than that PR support that people see for like $100 or whatever from the Blu-ray. I think that support is like whatever. It's like, you do not need that support at all. It's just basically a support card, and you're just showing your friends or other players to be like, yeah, I got this expensive card in my deck. What up, bro? I honestly don't think you need that card at all. It's like super unnecessary. I mean, it's a good support, but at the same time, I just don't think you need that support. You don't need that support at all. Like Nisekoi had a lot of good supports. Like, for example, the Raku, other support cards. Like this, I mean, that PR card from the Blu-ray is unnecessary. You don't need that, guys. Yeah, you spent, oh, I bought $25, now it's $100. Yeah, you don't. Who cares? You just spent money on a card that's like super unnecessary. You could have got like this like 50 yen card here and just be like I'm still better than you with my supports kind of thing. Like, yeah, you get a plus 1k from if you play a Climax. Whoop-de-doo. Who cares? See, that support card is totally unnecessary. I'm not hating on it, but I'm just saying that you don't need it. It's not something you need. Maybe for a fully built waifu deck, sure, but you don't need it. Like, all you need is this. This support card is a lot better than that support card. In my opinion, I think this card is a lot better. I mean, you're gonna end up like, you know, replacing it anyways, so might as well just keep this. And it's not like you're gonna play a Climax each freaking turn for some reason. If you do, I don't know why you're doing that, but why the heck you have so many Climax in your hand? But anyways, I do think this support card is a lot better. Next, we have 1-0 Onodera here. Now, I replaced the Time Machine Onodera with this. I think this card is a lot better. I unfortunately don't use it as much, surprisingly. It's a plus 500 if you it gets plus 500 for each key and sports characters on the field, so basically that's everything. And then it has clock encore. If this dies, take clock damage and encore it. Now, it becomes a 106k if you have a full field, if with support bigger, and it's really strong. It's like at least 108k basically. But other than that, I think this card is really good. I mean, like I said, I don't use it as much, but when I do, it comes in handy. Like, it just stays on my field. It keeps field presence. If I don't have cards in hand, the right cards in hand, then this card stays on the field and be like, okay, I'm okay. I can just run level 0s, end this on the field, and I should be fine. Like, this card is really good. Like it becomes in handy when you really need it. I mean, you don't have to, like, there are times when like I said, I don't use it as much, so like I just use it as clock bait, or I just use it as like ditch material, so I can get the pendants back kind of thing. So this card is really good. Like, if I really need to use it, I'll use it. If I don't need to use it, I don't use it kind of thing. So this card is still good. I like it. Like, it's a lot better than that 1-0 Onodera, 1-0 memory and Onodera comeback kind of thing. So definitely I like this card a lot better. The Onodera that goes to memory, I just don't think it's good for this deck. I thought it was, but then I tried it and I didn't like it at all. So definitely this card is a better choice if you're gonna try to run that Time Machine Onodera. Oops. Next, we have the engine of the deck, the Pendant. Now, all the pendants have the same name, so you can't run multiple copies of each one. It has to be a 4. They have the same name, so it has to be that playset. Now, different colors, like I said, yellow, green, blue, and red. I'm running blue and I'm running red. I like blue. Blue is my favorite one. It's a counter, 1/1, 3k, goes in memory. Really good card. This one, basically, it's a 1/1, tap, rest 2 your characters, salvage 2, ditch a card. Salvage 2 key characters and ditch a card kind of thing. So really good card. I think this card is super good. I'm only running 1 because I actually my backfield is always tapped. So because of that Brainstormer, because of specific effects. So that's why I don't use this. That's why I don't run multiple copies of this. I think 1 is good for me. There are times when I do use it though. Like I do use it, but not as much. But when I do use it, it helps a lot because I'm salvaging characters I need. The 1/1 event, this is really good. This card is always in memory for me. I'm using it as a counter. Like, I really use it on my turn, but when I do, there's a reason why I'm doing it. Like, for example, getting the suicide effect for my level 1 suiciders. But definitely, you try to use this for counters. I try to use this during my opponent's turn as counters. Once I run out of these, I mean, I'm kind of screwed. I don't really have any counters to, you know, protect my characters, but I don't care because my deck isn't really necessarily on power, so it's basically bring out cards, keep spamming the field, attack for damage, and then win the game kind of thing. So I don't really rely on power in Nisekoi. I think you don't have to at all anyways because of the level 3 game. But other than that, then I run 2 of these refreshers. Basically, when you play this card from hand to stage and you have 5 or less cards in deck, you can refresh for free. Basically, refresh, shuffle, tap deck, and then instead of taking clock damage, draw a card. Now that's really good. Instead of taking clock damage and drawing a card, especially to a card you need, That's like super godlike. That's why this card is so good, and not only that, it has a tap ability of tapping 2 characters plus 2k to any of your characters onto the field. Now that card's good as well. That's why like I said, this is one of the reasons why I don't use that this red event as much, because of this ability, the plus 2k ability. I use it for like the level 3 Chitoges. I use it for like the 1-0 Marika if I still have it on the field. I use it for like giving it my Onodera plus more power kind of thing. So that's why this card is really, really good. This is a really good one that definitely you have to be running these if you're running Nisekoi. Next, this is definitely my favorite card of the set. The 3-2 Onodera. It comes out at level 2 if you have 2 or more pendants in memory. Just 2 or more. That's like super easy before level 2. The first, basically the second ability is if you have 2 or more key characters on the field, this gains plus 1k. So instead of 9-5, it becomes a 10-5 character, and then support bigger, of course. And then the third ability is where this card becomes super godlike. Play from hand to stage, search for free. Any key character in your deck, take it out. So what I usually do, I play this Onodera, search ability, search out another Onodera, play this Onodera at level 2 again, search out a level 3 Marika, Chitoge, whatever, something I need, and then from there start off the combo. That's why you do this, like the combos: search, send out deck, bring out, search, send out deck. Basically, that's why you refresh a lot in this deck. You send out your deck a lot, at level 2, at level 1, whatever. That's why this card is so good. You're searching for free, and you're bringing it out at level 2. You're bringing it out at level 3 at level 2. You get to search for free. Not only that, it's a 10-5 plus support. So that's why this card is super good in any Nisekoi deck, or in any deck in general if it existed. So like, this card is super good. That's why it's one of my favorite cards, or it is my favorite card in this set. I honestly can see this getting banned or getting restricted, with all honesty. I'll tell you guys why. So let's go into more level 3s. We have level 3 Chitoges. I run 3 of these. 4 would have been awesome, but I honestly don't use this ability as much. But the heal ability is nice, so it does heal. Then it also has a pay 1 ability. Pay 1, tap 2 characters, and for the turn, getting to plus 2k, and the following effect: when this card reverses the character in front, you can top deck that card. So basically, the card it killed, put it on top of your opponent's deck for guaranteed damage. Now, why this comes in handy, basically you can combo with the level 3 Marika, because the first ability, if you have 2 or more memory pendant cards in memory, this card gains the ability of when you declare attack with it, they burn 1 damage. Your opponent takes 1 damage. That's why you guarantee that top damage ability, or I'm sorry, you guarantee that top card on your opponent's deck as damage, and then just burn them for that damage kind of thing. So that's why this card is good. And now the second ability is basically pay 2, ditch 3 cards from hand, and then this card reverses the character in front, restand it, and do it again. Now it keeps the attack burn ability, so declare attack, burn damage, and then, you know, stuff like that. Not only that, it keeps the triggers that you triggered, so that's why it's really, really good as well. You could also use this effect during your opponent's turn. So like, if your opponent, for example, like this, if your opponent kills your Marika but also dies as well, so basically you're crashing, you can actually use her effect. So for example, if you only have 2 stock in your stock zone, and you have, let's say, 4 cards in your hand, you can basically use this ability to encore it. So I reversed your character. Paid 2, ditch 3 cards, restand. You just gave it an encore during your opponent's turn. Instead of paying 3 stock, you paid more because you're ditching hand and stock, which is totally fine. In my opinion, I think it's super fine, because you still have that burn ability. All you care about is that burn ability. You want to burn your opponent you want to beat your opponent with that burn ability. This guaranteed burn ability, like burn, 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 burn. That's all you need. Like, that's why this card is really, really good. That's why a lot of people are saying this card is super good. But at the same time, this card is the reason why you might lose with this deck. Why do I say that? Anti-burn. Now, the anti-meta is super strong. I honestly don't like this anti-meta, but at the same time, I think it's something that we really need in Weiss Schwarz. There's just a lot of anti-stuff. Anti-salvage, anti-heal, anti-burn. Basically your deck can get screwed by Log Horizon, Shakugan no Shana, and whatever deck that has anti-burn. Definitely Log Horizon, because that Log Horizon has their own good ending game. So this is why this card is super weak against Log Horizon. So you have to watch out for that. It is an auto ability, so like the Shiroe for level 3 Shiroe from Log Horizon does have the ability of like stopping auto burn abilities. That's why this card is super screwed. That's why you get super screwed against Log Horizon or Shakugan no Shana. But other than that, this card is really good. It's just weak. It's just weak again, these anti-burn. I honestly do think the Onodera is the best level 3 in this set. I run 2 of these Marikas. Now, Climaxes, I run 4 comeback triggers, definitely for that 1-0 Marika, and then not only that, you trigger, you salvage. Really good. And this last Climax, it could have been the 2K one, but with all honesty, I actually wanted to run books. But unnecessary Nisekoi does not have book trigger, so instead I'm running the pants trigger now, or the gate trigger, whatever. With all honesty, I'm thinking of going back to 2K1s, because for power wide and that draw ability, but at the same time I don't think I should because of the trigger. I don't want to do a lot of damage to my opponent, so I just want to go bit by bit. That's why I don't want to run that 2K1. Now this gate trigger here, at the same time it's good, at the same time it's not. The reason being because when I trigger it, I kind of don't really want to, you know, salvage out Climaxes, but at the same time I kind of do. For example, the 1-0 Marika, there are times when I don't have that gate, the comeback trigger in my my hand, so that's why when I trigger this, I salvage back the comeback trigger in my hand and then use it next turn. But there are times when I do trigger it, and then like I know I'm gonna refresh during my opponent's turn. I just basically just like nah, I'm just gonna keep my Climaxes in my waiting room kind of thing, and just like sacrifice this, leave it in stock kind of thing. So that's why this card is like super 50-50. I honestly don't like it, but at the same time I do. I would rather have the book trigger in my deck, but unfortunately Nisekoi does not have it. I'm gonna wait maybe second season, which I'm pretty sure we all know is gonna come because it's super popular. Second season, pray for book trigger. But other than that, I think gate is probably, these 2 Climaxes are probably the way to go. Yeah, I do think this is the combo to go with. Now, some things I wanted to talk about with this deck, like I totally like the strategy of the deck is basically, it's very, you know, hands down. Like basically level 0, you want to use your runner, run around, get to level 1, set up with these Marikas here. Get your level 3s out, have your support looking like Raku, and then what do you call it? Where is she? Chitoge, or have 2 of these in the back row, whatever. Use the Raku and then the Marika to salvage out the pendants, which you really need in memory. Like I said, after you use this set up for level 2. You bring out that Marikas, the level 3-2 Marikas, which I really think these are really too good. Play, search. Play, search. Oh, I have a Marika in hand now. Okay, now I'm good for level 3. Attack. Stay alive because your opponent can't kill it. And then stay alive until level 3. Oh, your opponent killed it, no problem. Marika kind of thing. That's why this deck is too good. Now, cards that I think that might get hit by the ban list if it ever happened. Now, Nisekoi is really good. I will not be surprised if it got hit by the ban list at all. 3 cards I think that might get hit by the ban list. I think it's these 3 cards. Now, these 2 cards are just too good. I mean, their ability they're good, especially the Onodera. So it's not surprising if these 2 were to get restricted from each other. Why this card? I think this card is really good too because of that search ability. Now, you guys might think that's stupid, but I think it's really good because of the search ability. It's searching out the Onodera and then playing it again, search out the Marika kind of thing. That's a really good combo, guys. I also thought maybe the Brainstormer, but I think the Brainstormer is if I think about it, I think it's okay. It's not bad at all. There's a possibility it might be this card here, maybe. If it was this card, then okay, that's that kind of sucks. It does. Maybe that PR card might come in handy, but at the same time, I just don't think we need that PR card at all. I can just be running the 2/1 Marikas instead, the support, so it's not bad at all. I don't think it can ever be this. If they hit this with these 3 cards, then the deck would be not viable at all. Your deck would be dead, like literally dead. Like there's no, this deck is not playable at all anymore. So I mean, you can't even play the waifu build if you do this. That would suck. That would really suck. So I honestly don't think they can do anything if they're just gonna have to do this. Like I mean, yeah, you might not be able to run these in the same deck if as a waifu build, but I think these 3 cards are the targets if a ban list were to come for Nisekoi. But yeah, that's basically my deck profile, guys. Thanks for watching, and remember to subscribe, like the videos, comment down below, and comment down below on what kind of videos you guys want to see from us. It'd be awesome if you guys would tell us, because it gives us ideas on what to do. Later, guys.